Start Your Dungeons is now sponsored by Level Up Games, the largest and best board game, role playing, miniature games, collectible card game, hobby, and nerd store in Georgia. With a wide variety of events and product lines, Level Up Games is sure to have the product for every gamer you know. With 3 convenient locations in Duluth, Johns Creek, and Athens, there's bound to be a store near you. Plus, they ship anywhere in the U.S. from their online shop at levelupgamesatl.com. Thanks for sponsoring the channel, Level Up Games, and check out their event calendar and online store at the link in the description.
Hello everyone, welcome to Start Your Dungeons. I'm Adam.
I'm Bryce.
And today we're talking about Cyborg.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, Cyborg, which is a cyberpunk sci-fi futuristic version of the famous Borg game. So kind of their own take on it, again set in this post-apocalyptic cyber tech kind of world. So super excited. I've been running a bunch of this, so I'm excited to talk about it.
So what comes in this book?
So this is, like most of the Mortboard books, this is the entire book. This is all you need to play the game. The thing I like a lot about this book is, compared to some of the other ones, I really actually feel like the layout for this works really well. I know we've talked about that before. Layout, it can be really hard for some people with like the Mortboard products. This feels really well laid out and very nicely designed. In the front of the book, you have background. What's kind of happened in the understanding is the city is doomed. Something hit ground zero, a bomb, an alien artifact, what you don't know really. It exploded, and now corporations have taken over the city, and you are basically a bunch of gang members trying to work through things. I don't want to say exactly gang members because gangs exist in this game, and you can be part or not of them. So that's all in the front. You have the rules for building your characters. There is, just like the most board games, you have the option to play just a regular chump and get some bonuses. In this one, they let you roll 4d6 for 2 of your stats, drop the lowest. And then there's 6 different classes you can play as. Then in the back of the book, it's got all your ammo, your guns, your weapons, your armor. Pretty extensive equipment list. I actually really like how in-depth it feels like they went. I mean, there's literally tables for drugs, for weapon mods, all different sort of things. Mm-hmm. You have a massive selection of monsters and a bestiary sort of thing in the back with robots, drones, cyber dogs, all different sorts of things. Mm-hmm. And then in the very back, there's a mission that you can play, which I think is called Casino Lucky Flight. I'd have to look at the back and remember it, but I have run that one. It is really, really good, actually, as an intro one to get people into the game. It's very brutal, but it's very, very good. I really liked it.
Very cool. So what about the quality?
I love this book. I mean, you gotta talk about Mortboard product. Their product always looks flashy on the thing, and sometimes, again, that style. I mean, the art and things alone in this, people can see, the artwork is just gorgeous throughout anything. I mean, you can flip through any part of this book and see beautiful kind of neo-punk art. It's very well done and has a very distinct style to it.
Some of it's graffiti kind of looking. It's very gritty, city kind of stuff. So very urban fantasy.
I love the drugs picture with the girl going in the hazy sort of thing. I love that artwork. The cybertech one is great. Kind of like an old statue that they've started putting parts on and stuff. A lot of it feels, like you said, like graffiti, or where they've taken regular just art and then stylized over it.
Right.
Very cool sort of design. I really like it. Quality of the book is nice. It's again that A4 kind of hardcover sort of style to it. Or not A4, is this A5? I can't remember the difference. I think it's an A5 for this one, actually, the smaller ones, but really nice book, really high quality. And I know I keep repeating this, but layouts of Mortboard books aren't for everyone. This one is very well done. Having had Pirate Borg before I got this one, I still think Pirate Borg is a little bit cleaner and easier to read, but this one was like, this was still a step up to me from in terms of like design over flow.
So how easy is it to get into the game?
Pretty easy. I mean, the rules are very simple. If you played a board game, you can play one of these. I mean, the whole system is, again, it's a D20 system. Add your stat. The target number is usually 12. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much it. Great resource online. If you go online, there's the Cyborg actually like online website has a couple of different great things. One is a random character generator, so you can go in and just click it until you like a character and then play. Cool. Does all your equipment, does everything for it. I actually think the printed versions of those are easier to read than the regular ones because they're more like clean data sheet sort of style. So that's really the rules are pretty simple to understand, pretty easy to get into. I think most of the times there's also online like a free cheat sheet thing that they have. Having played a Mort board game, I picked this up and immediately started going with it. But I think even if you're newer to role-playing games, the rules aren't very big for this game. So understanding it, now the optional rules like taking cover and doing all those things might add a little bit of depth to your game, but there's not a whole lot.
So what do we think about the overall rule set? Now, for Mort Borg, and, like my only experience is playing Pirate Borg and, looking through some of the books. And I feel like a lot of the Borg aesthetic is to try to put a new spin on the OSR kind of stuff, the old school play style, but with a new look. Does that hold up with this version?
I'm going to say no. Some people might disagree with me on this, but I think that this one is interesting because it is the same brutal sort of things. Guns pretty much kill a person. If you get shot once, you can die.
I mean, in Pirate Borg, I got knocked out by a seagull.
Y'all missed a great campaign bit. Holy cow, he got killed by a seagull. It was bad. So I forgot about that. This one I feel like, so I am not someone who's deep into the cyberpunk sort of RPG scene. I wanted to get into it more. Haven't played like Cyberpunk Red. Picked up Cyberpunk Augmented, which is based on Blades in the Dark, which is a little bit different than this. The thing I like about this game, one is I feel like this feels like real gunplay.
Oh, okay.
It's deadly, right? And that's how it should be. Like if you're in a real world and you get shot, you're almost dead or you're dead, right? That is what I like about this system, is that harshness of like, if I get hit, I'm gonna die, is really a part of this game. And it makes sense. I mean, if you're running around and you have like a machete and like some machine gun and stuff, but somebody walks through the door with a shotgun and blasts you, you're probably dead. And that's fair. Like, that's how it is.
Yeah.
I really like the classes in here. I think the classes are really cool.
Okay.
There's, I'm going to try and remember all of them off the top of my head because there's 6 of them. There's the Shun Necromancer, which is basically you did drugs and now you have necro powers, which are called nanos in this game. And I really like nanos. Nanos are these really cool, like, reality warping powers, but every one of them gives you a physical ailment of some kind. That is, like, one of them is literally like, my fingers are double the length. And what happens is if you ever fumble while trying to cast a nano, whatever weird physical manifestation you have causes you to have a negative. So for the finger one, it's like for D10 times 10 minutes, you cannot hold anything because your fingers are all messed up because they're trying to like reconnect in the joints and stuff. Really cool idea. I actually think that's it's interesting, and it makes for like how this like weird world of, I don't want to call it magic, but like using almost like cybernetics to change reality.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the Numenera stuff, because there's magic, but it's also technology.
Kind of that feeling, yeah.
So is there anything that you don't like about the system?
No. I'm trying to think. There's really, actually, I'll say this. There is one thing I don't like. I wish, and this is just a you roll bad situation. There are certain character classes that you pick. Like one of them's the discharged corpse killer. He gets some. When you pick a class, you roll your stats differently. So normally you roll 3d6 down the line. Certain classes say you need like a higher presence, so roll 3d6 plus 2. You know, that sort of thing. It's different from other systems where, like, I know in Pirate Borg, you actually will change the stat, the final number. This one does it a little bit differently from that, which is fine. I think that's still okay for you to play with. But the thing that I think really about this one is sometimes you'll roll dice for a character, and I think it's fine to roll random or whatever. But there are times where I've rolled and been like, this character's not good. Because what they're trying to do doesn't work with how their stats are laid out. And that's just how it works sometimes.
Yeah.
But I've had it before where I've actually rolled up probably 3 or 4 random discharged corpse killers for like one-shots, whatever. And I've had them all pretty much not end up being good. Like, people are like, oh, I get like these special prototype guns and all this stuff. And then by the end of it, they're like, I didn't really get to do anything because my stats weren't that great. Which I think happens. I think that's the only negative I can think of. Like I said, the other classes are cool. There's a burned hacker where you can use apps to like change things. The discharged corpse killer, which is basically you get a specialty weapon and things. The orphan gearhead, which you actually get like a drone, or there's literally a weapons platform that you can roll, which was really cool. I basically made my buddy hit a lazy boy covered in guns. There's a gang member, a discharged gang member, and I knew I would forget one of them. That's gonna make me mad. Oh, the renegade cyber slasher.
So, is this a complete game? Can you run this indefinitely?
100%. You can start with the adventure in the back and then go to the actual Cyborg website. Has tons of third-party free stuff that you can download. I have like 8 adventures just sitting on my laptop at home that were pay what you want, which I obviously gave a little bit, but if you want, they are free for some of them. There's free classes or other stuff, but you could never get any of that and run everything out of here. Okay. And the starter adventure is really good in here for, I think, launching you into campaigns of what you want to do.
Okay.
And I think that it's like with, Pirate Borg we've talked about before, too. Because it gives you so much in here, you can run whatever you want. Like, if you're like, I want to run maybe a really, really gritty version of Cyberpunk 2077, you could in this. I think that this rule system is a little bit more gritty than maybe that world is, but for most people, I think that's a setting most people know for Cyberpunk. That sort of setting you could try to do in here, but you're looking for a little bit darker. But yeah, I mean, this is $40. Just like, with the Pirate Borg and other games, you paid $40 and you indefinitely have a game you can play.
Okay. Who is this book for? Is this for new players, for seasoned players?
I think any of the Borg systems are okay for new players, personally. Like, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like the D20 and needing to roll and hit a target number and never having a DM needing to roll feels really, really easy to kind of understand. Yeah. And I think you never have to really, like, as a new player, you don't have a whole lot. It's not like you have 8 skills. Like, literally the discharged corpse killer goes, your special ability is you have a gun that is different from everyone else's. That's it. Cool, you're done. So I don't know. What do you think for new players? How do you feel about Borg systems for new players? I don't know if we talked about that.
I mean, the appearance of the book can be intimidating. There's a lot of stuff on the page, and it's not always where you want it. It's so I think if you can get used to the layout and the style of presentation, it's approachable. So while I'm not the biggest Borg fan, I think that the gameplay itself is strong.
I would agree with that. I think I am not a Mork Borg guy. I think the fantasy setting just isn't for me. but I am more of a Borg player after this and after Pirate Borg. For seasoned role players, if you're looking for a really gritty sort of cyberpunk game, this is for you. I mean, there isn't, in my opinion, a book kind of like this on the market. There are cyberpunk RPGs, 100%. But this one might be the darkest of them all, and I feel like if you're really looking for a game also that has really, really, like, outrageous gun combat in terms of, like, the brutality of it, this is hard not to say as an option.
So I'll do the next question, I think should really be aimed at me.
Yeah.
So
Would you try this game as a player?
I think I want to. So I've always been interested in, I love sci-fi. I like movies like Blade Runner, and I've always wanted to play games like Shadowrun, and there's the Genesis book, In the Shadow of the Beanstalk. There's all these high concept cyberpunk kind of games, and this one sounds like a good one for me. I think it's a good fit for the kind of play style that I want to do.
I would agree. Based on what you like, I think you will like this one.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna like the simplicity of this, and then like the coolness factor of being able to do some of the cool things in it. I have only DM'd this game. I have never played it. Would I play it as a DM? I actually like DMing this game. I find it really fun. What's been really cool about this one is, this back adventure in here, the idea is you're supposed to go to a casino and clear its servers of all the debt that everyone in the city owes to it, right?
That sounds pretty good, actually.
But you end up coming to it and finding out, and I won't spoil it for anybody, but the server is not what you think it is. And so because of that, there's a change of how do you get through? How do you deal with this server? How do you deal with the fact of sneaking into this place because it's under lock and key most of the time? It's closed for a very short amount of time because it's an all-night club and casino. It does a really good job of letting also, in my opinion, something that I really like is it did a really good job of saying, here's the ways you can do this. Do you want to do a heist? Here's some options for how to heist this. Do you want to do a guns blazing fight out? You can do that. And I think that a lot of games don't offer that.
No,
and I think
they just leave it to the DM or the GM to just figure it out.
And they do some really good jobs, like, not to be a little bit crude, but literally, like, two people in the casino are, like, sleeping together, and you can walk in on them doing it based on roles. Like, it's just funny, like, silly things like that sometimes. Yeah. But I do think this one is really fun to run. But also, like I said, the opportunities for your players to do different things is really cool. Do you want to do a thing where you go in, kill a bunch of gang members, and get out? You can do that. I've run games where it's like, hey, I'll give a shout out. I think it's called Dock 45. It's a free adventure. I ran it last night. Big props to them. The way it works is you're sneaking onto a dock to assassinate and kill a guy who leaked company secrets, who's trying to escape, but the boat isn't working at the moment. And what I loved is the game actually has a thing similar to, if anyone's played the Hitman video games, where it said, if you kill him this way, get extra money. So I didn't tell them that, but also there's a D6 roll at the beginning to say, like, you can kill whoever you want, or you can only kill him. Or you can only do it without getting caught. Or you can... So it changes the variety. Great. Whoever wrote that, I'll link it down in the notes for the video. 10 out of 10. Super simple one-pager, but it was very well thought out. I really enjoyed how that was done. And I think that's how a great example of what you can do with this game as a DM. You don't need a whole lot to run this. Your players are basically running it for you by rolling and doing all the rolls and stuff. But you can kind of play what you want in a big cyberpunk sandbox.
So are you happy you bought this product?
100%. So what happened was, played Pirate Borg, loved Pirate Borg, watch our review if you haven't of Pirate Borg, it's amazing. Saw this, picked this up because I had heard really good things about it as well. And now I've run it twice. And every time I run it, I go, I wouldn't mind doing a short campaign of this. Like, I genuinely think it's a lot of fun. I think for $40 you can't beat it. Again, it's the same thing with the Borg product. You get a small, nice hardcover book, high quality paper, beautiful artwork, beautiful rules, simple to play, and you've got this for life. Like, it's hard for me to argue and say, like, this isn't amazing.
And if you're in Georgia, pick it up at Level Up Games.
Yep. Or you can go along to their website, levelupgamesatl.com. I know they do have copies of this, so you can be glad to just pick up a copy through their online web store.
All right. So if you have played this or you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below.
All right. Y'all take care.
Bye.